Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 5th of February 2020. Thought I'd make another quick video to give you some technical analysis breakdown of the charts, let you know the key levels that we're looking at so you can make informed decisions about when to buy and sell your currency. This is something that I do quite regularly in terms of letting my clients know how technical analysis married with fundamental analysis can assist them in terms of making well-informed decisions, and hopefully you can see how we add some value. So here is a look at the charts today.
Okay, so let's start by having a look at the pound versus the euro. So recently we've been doing quite well against the euro. We had identified a micro wedge which the pound broke out above. We then had a couple of days of pullback and then continued to rally. When we continued to rally, I marked 118 as a probable support area moving forward. Unfortunately, Prime Minister Boris Johnson didn't get that memo, as he came out on Monday and said that he would rather leave the EU with no deal. That obviously created a bit more uncertainty in the markets, and we saw the value of sterling plummet by about 1.5% through Monday and Tuesday morning's trading sessions. We fell to, interestingly, the top of our micro wedge, which acted as support, and by the end of Tuesday we had rallied back up to 118. Now if we look at today, we can see we've pushed above 118 and we're trading comfortably above 118, just shy of 118.50, which is positive. So all in all, we're thinking the markets have shrugged off Johnson's comments because majority of people feel that we won't be leaving the EU with no deal come the end of the transition period, and this is probably just another one of Boris Johnson's negotiating tactics. So all in all, things are looking positive still for the pound, and we would expect to see further strengthening. Moving swiftly on to the pound versus the dollar, this has been a little bit more volatile. Obviously with the coronavirus outbreaks, we've seen a lot of flows into the US dollar, which has made the pair a bit more choppy. And then of course, as I mentioned, Boris Johnson's comments on Monday similarly saw the market plummet. However, we did plummet to just below our pre-identified support level of 130. By the end of Tuesday, we had rallied back above 130, which was a great sign. And today again, we can see we are continuing to move upwards, which is positive. Now, there may be some headwinds with the pound versus the dollar because, as I said, the US dollar has seen a lot of flows into it recently. The dollar basket has been appreciating, which means that the pound may suffer a little bit going forward. We might drop back below 130, possibly to the top of our macro channel again, before we can muster enough strength to head upwards. If that doesn't happen and we do remain above 130, then we are optimistic that the pound strength does continue. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, whether the pound can withstand the appreciation of the dollar basket. And if we have a quick look at the euro versus the dollar, so since we broke out, when was this, last Thursday or a couple of Thursdays ago, we have seen a sharp drop in the value of the euro. We did try to sort of pare back some of those losses, but we've been rejected again at the beginning of this week to the downside. Again, as I mentioned, we've seen some strength coming into the dollar basket, so currency pairs paired with the dollar will be suffering, and that's no surprise. If I take us on to the pound versus the Aussie dollar, I did mention in my last video that we were at the top of our channel, which we'd been trending up for a while. as you know, as you can see, every time we come to the top of one of our channels, there then tends to be weakness to the downside, and in this case that's exactly what has transpired once more. It's not necessary that we, you know, head all the way back down to the bottom of the channel, but it is worth considering you know, what you're doing if you are exposed to the pound versus the Aussie dollar. And quick look at the pound versus the Canadian dollar, similar to the pound euro. Looks like we've had, you know, a nice reversal candle, and we're now appreciating again. Some nice steps upwards, higher lows here, so that looks good. Pound versus the Swiss franc, we were in a bit of a downtrend from the beginning of the year. That seems as though it is being broken right now, which is obviously positive for the Swiss. They'll be quite happy about that. As I mentioned previously, they are mainly an exporting economy, so they don't want their currency to appreciate too much. So that's a good thing for them, and also a good thing for UK importers as well. And I think we will probably leave it there for today. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what was going on in the markets, and keep posted and look out for future videos. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Okay guys, so there you have it. That's a nice little breakdown of the currency markets. So pound euro holding above 118, pound dollar holding above 130, the Australian dollar possibly in for a little bit of weakness, pound Swiss franc breaking out of a downtrend, and pound Canadian dollar taking some nice steps up. So all in all, the pound's looking positive. Euro dollar, we've seen the euro weakening against the dollar. As I mentioned, a lot of flows into the US dollar, so it'll be interesting to see how pound dollar also holds up against the dollar basket appreciating. And outside of that, look out for future videos. If anyone would like me to break down and analyze any specific charts that they are have currency exposure to, then just drop me a private message. You can find my details down below in the post. I'll be happy to do that for you and have a discussion with you. And so that's it. That's how we analyze the markets and we keep our clients informed. Hopefully you found it valuable, and as I say, keep an eye out for further videos. Take care guys.